Welcome back. We're talking about Golden Axe Beast Rider now, and I have some disclosure here. Greedy Productions, our company, we worked on a bunch of behind-the-scenes videos on the game, so we were able to see the guys at Secret Level and at Sega working on this title over the many months that it took to build the game. Actually, it took us
a while. This was the first one we got signed to do.
Yeah, this was something we started in 2007. We actually started shooting some stuff, and we shot a little bit more in 2008 as well, and it took a little bit of time.
Took a while.
Well, what they did is they and I think it was the right move, is that they slowed down development on it a little bit.
Obviously.
To focus on Iron Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then they picked up speed again on making Golden Axe Beast Rider and finishing that off. Now, if you can recall, Foobs and I reviewed Iron Man from Secret Level and Sega, and
we had the same disclosure.
Yeah, same disclosure because we
same
worked on that
disappointment
behind the scenes. Yeah, and we were disappointed with that game. And again,
guess what?
We're disappointed with Golden Axe Beast Rider. It's a good-looking game, and I think there's some really cool elements in the title. I like the story sequences and the cutscenes and the character design.
Like a little like Heavenly Sword.
Yeah,
a little Heavenly Sword feel, which is not bad.
Little God of War, little Ninja Gaiden in there as well in terms of design and characters and the environmental stuff that they've got going on and the way that they structure the levels and grade you at the end of every one of those. But what kind of mars the experience, first of all, is the lack of any cooperative play. And if you've been following the game,
it's a three-player standard. I mean, you see Gilius the elf at the end of like the first like kind of mission, and he comes out and saves you after you get clubbed in the head, unconsciousized.
And you see the barbarian as well, and they're all interwoven into the story, and it's really kind of setting up the stories that were a part of Golden Axe 1 and 2 in the arcade games. But I think the game really suffers from a lack of cooperative play, especially when you play it against something as recent as LittleBigPlanet or Fable 2 or something.
Super recent. That was a review ago.
No, but what I'm saying is games like that bring all kinds of single-player depth, and then they let you play it with somebody else. But then when you play Golden Axe, and it's not as ambitious in experience or design or development as some of those, and you can't play co-op, there is one terrific element in the game, and that's the whole Beast Rider. Well, there's lots of boobies in the game, but the beast riding aspects of the title are pretty fantastic. I like jumping onto each of the different characters and,
Which one was your favorite?
I like the Lynn. I like the sort of cat kind of, lurching and...
The Miragor, which is later on in the game, like third, fourth level. It's like this badass, like gorilla-looking guy with spikes, and he just like tears through enemies. But if you keep hitting the attack button, the looping sound that it makes is just
drives you crazy. Yeah, drives you crazy. Yeah, some of the sounds. Period. If you turn the music off, which we have to do sometimes when we're recording the gameplay.
I gotta listen to this guy.
And it takes away a big chunk of the experience because the music's actually really solid in the game. You know what? It's not like the game isn't fun to play, and it's not like it's not, It
is. I mean, it's fun to get into.
It does draw you in, and you do kind of...
There's some parts that are a pain in the ass you get stuck in. You're like, what do I do exactly? Like, oh, you're supposed to light a torch. How am I going to know that?
It's an okay game. I feel bad because I really like those Secret Level guys, but I don't know if this is good enough to do it.
This isn't going to be the one to grab your ghoulies?
No, it's not the ghoulie grabbing goodness that I wanted. What are you going to give Golden Axe Beast Rider?
I'm going to have to give it 6 out of 10.
6.5 from me. All right, don't go away. We're coming right back with the return of... Well, maybe. It's SimCity Creator.
Oh.
We're sitting in one of the world's best cities right now, San Francisco.
Created by me.
And did you create it?
I did.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, stick around. SimCity Creator on the Wii right after this. ...2006 was a huge year for Lara Croft with Tomb Raider Legend, and here it is for the Nintendo DS. And actually, it's a pretty decent representation. A little bit blocky, a little bit chunky, some kind of superfluous use of the stylus for the shooting action involved here as well. Actually, when you come up to a bad guy, Lara stops on the top screen, and then they go to this full first-person mode where you're actually using the stylus to shoot at the bad guy, and you have to kind of whip up the stylus and try to shoot before they get you. Not too cool. I do like the fact that they've conveyed a lot of the story sequences from the console version of the game. They actually have the little rendered cutscenes in this game, which is pretty cool. And they also visit all the different locales that are in the bigger game as well. So you're going to Tokyo, you're in Peru, you're in the jungles, you're in a whole bunch of tombs. But be prepared, it's definitely not as slick as it was in the consoles. I'm giving Tomb Raider Legend for the Nintendo DS a 6.5 out of 10. Welcome back. SimCity is on the Wii now.
It is.
It's called SimCity Creator.
It's
and
pretty much what SimCity is. It's a creator game.
yeah, I know, but they kind of want to identify it differently. They didn't go for the My Sims kind of big head vibe that they did with the previous My Sims game.
There are some big-headed characters in the game.
But they have some of those, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit confusing. They could have called it My Sims SimCity. I don't know.
My SimCity.
I'll tell you what my overall feeling about this game was...
Disappointment and
yeah,
dread.
dissatisfaction.
Okay.
And my idea around SimCity now has changed from, I used to admire it and really enjoy the experience. But ever since SimCity 4 came out, and I really liked the time that I spent with that game, I'm over it. I don't care about building cities anymore.
I was over it on the Super Nintendo version.
And it's,
SimCity.
it was fun back then. It was a total evolution and a revolutionary kind of thing. I love SimCity 2000 when I played that and all the futuristic stuff.
That was good.
They've just done the same damn game over and over again. I mean, they've added some new, hooks where you can actually have a helicopter do some flybys and a biplane fly over your city, and they've added some new characters and things like that. And of course, they've used the Wiimote for some of the
As your control.
Yeah, and
It's like
it's impossible.
It's like a failed Minority Report experience.
Yeah.
The hardest thing about controlling this with your Wiimote is, all right, I want to put some roads on my island, my patch of land.
Yeah.
Straight road.
Yeah. Impossible. Yeah.
Oh. This is a roller coaster. What's going on? I can't do straight lines.
You feel like the game is teasing you almost, right? When you're playing with the damn thing, and every little tiny twist of your wrist is the wrong move, and it's so clunky and complicated and
it's just
needlessly
unfun.
slow.
There's so many stats on screen that tell you have this much money. They have a news ticker.
Listen, SimCity was a fantastic game. If you can get an older, if you can get an older version of the game on any platform that's had it before, you're probably going to have a good time. Just if you've never played it before, just to sink in. If you've got a good high-end PC and you want to play the most high-tech version of it, SimCity 4 is still that, and it's decent. But you know what? I am over it. On the positive side, though, the graphics aren't terrible. I mean, it does.
On
look
the
pretty
negative
good.
side, everything else.
It was fantastic a long time ago. Put it to bed for now. All right.
Bedtime for
SimCity. What are you going to give SimCity Creator?
3 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. Today in hardware, we're talking about Sony's brand new PSP. It seems like they make a new one every couple of months now.
I think so.
What's going on with that?
The other ones just came out maybe like half a year ago, maybe a year ago.
This is the PSP3000, which is lighter still than the PSP2000.
And still no second analog.
No second analog. No real kind of functional change to the way that you're going to play your games, or
Except for the screen's brighter.
You don't have like a built-in hard drive or anything like that. But
built-in microphone.
You do have a built-in microphone, which is
the big
a good
selling
deal.
point.
I think that's a pretty
cool
thing.
If you're using Skype on your PSP, which some people do.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good way to save some money on some phone calls there. And then, of course, there's games like the SOCOM series, which allow you to do some voice chatting over them. You don't need to have the separate,
the cool-looking earpiece.
Which I actually like that kind of stuff. But if you, you don't want to attach anything else, you just want to take the PSP in your game and go, then you can do that.
Give me Bluetooth in the PSP, so you can have your little...
honestly, at this stage, when you've got an iPhone that gives you all, a huge hard drive and all kinds of downloadable games, that is the cool thing now with the PSP Store. You're actually going to be able to go through your PSP and download games right to it.
Yeah.
But you're still going to have all kinds of backup memory sticks there to sort of...
whole grip of them, too.
Yeah, because you're talking about...
32 gig cards.
Seriously, because some of these games are a gig in size. Some of them are enormous, which is kind of baffling why they don't have at least an 8 gig hard drive built into this new refresh. And you're right, at this point, why don't they have the second analog thumbstick? I mean, there's a lot of things that I love about PSP gaming for sure. I love
obviously have 8.
The screen real estate is great, and the graphics are still the best, I think, in portable handheld games.
Yes.
You can't beat Chains of Olympus. The new PSP's got some pretty cool technical updates to it as well. It has what they call the wide color gamut, so it gives you more colors to choose from.
Very important.
And it has 5 times the contrast ratio of the PSP2000. If you don't have a PSP, or if you only have the older version of the PSP and you've been thinking about an upgrade, this is definitely recommended. If you already got the 2000, I'd hold off until they come out with the 4000 in 3 months.